Now we're going back down to the parental information, just like I had to do for mine, she has to do
Yeah.
for her parents.
Hey guys, welcome back. It's me again, Jess and Travis.
Mo din tayo doon eh.
Yeah.
All right, welcome back everybody. This is Jess and Travis. We're going to be talking about the I-129F K1 visa form for your fiance visa, as you can see here up on my screen. The actual term for it is the petition for alien fiance. Alien obviously means someone that's, not a part of this country, so they're alien, right? They're not a part of it. So this is the 129F form directly off of the U.S. Citizens and Immigration Services website, and this is the form as of, what does it say? It says 6 November. These forms do get updated here and there, so just make sure you get the most current form off their
Yeah.
website. Me and Jessa are going to be going through how we did it, because we did it basically a do-it-yourself method where we went through step by step. And I will also show you, there are directions to this. We're going to show you the form, and then I will also show you the directions to this form, which you can
So I have
actually
my
see.
hard copy here. So
Yeah, Jess is going to follow along on the hard copy, and you'll see me
yeah.
highlight stuff. You can see my thing here.
So
So
this is my hard
we are
copy.
talking about the petition for alien fiance here. All right, babe, we're gonna start. So we're gonna come over here. So all of this top portion here, all of this is not for you to fill out, okay? So it says for
Babe,
USCIS
show
only.
them. Show them the expiration date because they need to get the updated one. For example, here, the expiration date is July. July 31, 2022.
Yeah.
So if you will apply April, so this is fine to use. But if you're gonna apply August, if you're gonna send this form by August, so you have to get the updated form.
So
You
what
have the
she's saying, I'm gonna
updated.
move this real quick. Um, right here is what she's talking about. I had your face blocking it, but it says this form expires on 3/31/2024.
Yeah.
So just be sure that you're using the updated form. Otherwise, when you send it in, they're going to deny it and kick it back to you, saying that you are not using the correct
The updated
format.
one.
All right,
Yeah.
moving on. So we're gonna go to part one, and it is pretty self-explanatory. It says information about you, alien registration number, if you have one, which means that you probably have immigrated somewhere else before to the United States, and that's where you would put that number. USCIS online account number, if you have an account with them, or it would be your US Social Security number. Okay, and that would be for me. This would be for me. This is my section as the petitioner. Basically,
Part 1.
yep. So part one is going to be for the petitioner, for me to put my information in there. You're going to have to select one of these boxes here that indicates the classification that you're requesting for your beneficiary. Are you already married, which would be a spouse, or are you requesting to get married, which is a fiance visa, okay? So the K1 and K3 processes are both different. We are speaking on the K1 visa for a fiance spouse, but if
Yeah.
you look at 4 Bravo, you would that would be if you've already married and you need to go down that specific pathway to get your citizenship. All right, 5. If you're failing to classify your spouse as a K3, you have finished the form I-130. Not applicable. You leave that blank. Okay, so it's going to say your full name, and that's, again, it's going to be me. So it'd be my name, my family name, which would be if for me, it wouldn't have changed. My family name would remain. But in any case, if you had a family name, it'd be your family name, your given first name, and your full middle name. Up here where it says other names used, this is going to provide all names that you have used, including aliases, maiden names, and nicknames. Basically, they want to know when they do a an essential background search on you is, have you gone by other names, and is anything going to flag their system for that? So that's important to remember here is if you've used other names, make sure you put them in there. If not, you want to put NA. I don't know why it doesn't allow hyphens.
Yeah, NA, just put NA
It doesn't
on
allow
each
hyphens,
blank.
so you can write it in or type it in. NA. This document does not allow me to do a hyphen or a slash, so it'd be
Yeah.
NA or you know not
Yeah, we put NA here.
applicable. I think I hand wrote it in, right?
No,
Well,
type.
wonder
Yeah.
wonder why
It's
I
all
can't.
NA for those
NA then.
blanks.
All right. So back to your mailing address. This is for your petitioner. So this is wherever I'm staying. That would be your mailing address. That's very self-explanatory there. Is your
Yeah.
mailing address current and the same as your physical address? Are you living at the residence? Yes or no? This is where
Yes.
the some of this stuff gets a little intricate here. We are going to be filling out your your address history and your employment history, and this again is still for it's still for the petitioner. So provide your physical address for the last 5 years, um, and whether inside or
Mhm.
outside the United States. So for a military member, I may have to put my address from Bahrain. I may have to put my address from Japan for the last 5 years. So my Japan and my Bahrain address were in here
Yep.
as proof of my address history. And my employment history for me is easy. I've had one employer for the last 14 years, and it says use your last 5 years. So again, for the petitioner, it's just going to be your employment. So that's an easy day, not too difficult here. Um, you're going to put your physical address here on this left side, and then you're going to follow with your employers on the right side if you have multiple employers. Now,
Yep.
again, this is going to be more information about you. Again, for your employment start date, employment end date. It's going to be your gender information, date, marital status. Are you single, married, divorced, or widowed? This is important because if you are divorced, you need to click divorced. Even if you're divorced, don't click single because you need to provide the documentation for a divorce or for being widowed.
Divorce decree.
Yep. So just remember to keep that in there. So it's going to get very intrusive at this point. Like information about your parents, I had to put my parents' information here, um,
Yep.
and you will too. So parent one, and then you can see here you got parent two, mom and dad, dad and dad, mom and mom, whatever you
Mhm.
have. That's where it's going to go. Legal guardian, whatever you have you. And then it's going to ask you, have you ever previously been married? And that means you. That would, for me, in my case, I would hit yes, and then it would say name of previous spouse. This is where you put who you were married to, right?
Yeah.
Their family name, their given name, and their middle name, and the date that your marriage ended, what it was absolved. And so here, your current citizenship information, birth in the United States, naturalization, U.S. citizen parents. What are you? Obviously, I was born in the United States, so I would be born in the United States. Have you obtained a certificate of naturalization or a certificate of a citizenship in your own name? For here, if you answered, read these notes. If you answered yes to item 41, then in the complete items number 42A and 42C.
Mm-hmm.
All right.
That will be the next page.
Yep. And so again, more information about you, and basically it's going to ask naturalization and citizenship is stuff. It's
Yeah.
going to ask about that information. So for
Mm-hmm.
here it would be NA for me, NA. Additional information: have you ever filled the 129F out before? Any other
Mm-hmm.
beneficiaries? Have you applied for before or no? For me it'd be no. If you answered yes to item 43, provide the response to item 44 through 46, which for us is not applicable. So of course I would
Yeah.
put NA. You want to make sure you put NA in all of the spaces that you absolutely can.
Correct.
Otherwise, they may kick it back and question why there's an empty space.
Mhm.
Okay, so what action did USC take on form? And this would be if you filled out. Do you have any children under the age of 18? Yes or no.
Mhm.
Okay, this is a separate question than all of these, so make sure you read every single line item must be answered. If you answered yes, proceed. What are their ages? Provide all the U.S. states and foreign countries in which you have resided in since your 18th birthday. This is a
Yeah.
lot, right? It could be multiple states, multiple countries. This is the U.S. government vetting the petitioner. Remember, we're still talking about me. This is still my
The
information.
petitioner.
This is petitioner information. Um, information. So the citizenship information, and then the residences. So when it goes down, it's going to talk about residence 1 and then resident 2 if you need it.
Mm.
Now we're going to get into information about your beneficiary. This is where Jessa's name is going to come in. Okay?
Yeah.
You know, who again, names. Does she have an alien registration number? If any, does she have a social security number? If any,
No.
and then date of birth would be her date of birth, her gender. Is she has she been divorced, widowed, or married before, or is she single? The town, the country, and the country of citizenship or nationality.
Other
And
names used, NA.
yep, all right.
Okay.
Still going down here. Other names
So next,
used.
Dave, I just want to like here because especially me, I work in different countries. So for the last 5 years, you have to put the last addresses that you work that you've worked before. Like for example, my mailing address first. So where is my mailing address? That would be my physical address right now. So my current address. So what I put here is my current address here in the Philippines, and then the next physical address, um yeah, the your beneficiary address history, yep, that's it. And then it will go to your beneficiary employment history.
Yep.
So beneficiaries employer one, so I have to put the address of my employer, and then the name of the company where I work to, and then when I work there, and when is the employment end date. So because I work in two countries, guys. So I have to put first in Japan, and then the next one, beneficiary employer number two, is where I work is in Bahrain. And then after that, yeah, information about your beneficiary's parents. So I have to put my
Hang on.
parents' information.
Hang on. You're getting
Mm-hmm.
ahead. You're getting ahead of me. You're getting ahead of me.
Where?
Hang on 1 second. So, it, part 2 here, we're talking about information about your beneficiary. Jessa's mailing address would go here. If it is
Mm-hmm.
different from her physical address, that is where you enter a physical address. So for example, I have mail that comes to Virginia, but I also have mail that goes to a mailing address to my parents' house in Michigan. That would be
Mm-hmm.
I live here, but my
Right.
physical
Yeah.
address may be different than my mailing address. Maybe you're mailing to a PO box, or you have a mailbox
Yeah.
at the post office. That would be different than your physical address, just so we don't have any confusion there.
But what I put is the same address.
Right.
So
And
yeah.
that's fine to do that because your mailing address is the same as your physical address. You will
Yep.
put the same address.
Correct.
Um, so now we're talking about your beneficiary's address history, which she was just talking about. If you've lived anywhere else, and it always says here, guys, at the top, for the last 5 years, whether inside or outside of the U.S.,
Yeah.
you need to provide that information. Then over here, it'll jump over to your employment history. Again, this is for your beneficiary. So the first half of the form is for me, and the second half of the form is for Jessa. So
Yeah.
employment history, come on down, and then more information about your beneficiary. So again, it just goes down to employer two, and then Now we're going back down to the parental information, just like I had to do for mine, she has to do
Yeah.
for her parents. So this form is not difficult, but you need to take your time when you do it, because it can get confusing because it's like section 1, section 2.
Yeah.
So now we're at other information about your beneficiary, item number 34. Have you been previously married? Same questions as they asked me. They're asking her. It's no different. If yes, put yes. If no, put no. If it is no, just NA, 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 all of that, okay? Now,
Yeah.
right here it says, if your beneficiary is currently in the United States, complete items 38 through A through 38, bravo. Has he or she entered as a visitor, student, exchange alien, crewman, stowaway, temporary worker, without inspection?
So I put NA because I haven't.
Yep.
I've not been there before.
And if you have been here, you would put their arrival
Yeah.
number, which would be on the documentation that's provided.
Yeah.
Continuing with beneficiary information,
Part two.
which would be part 2 here. Still, it says date authorized for your stay. That's if you were able to be in the United States.
Mm-hmm.
If you answered yes to item number 39, right here, do you have any children? That's why you can't skip around, guys. You gotta read each one of them. Is this NA? Is this NA? Is this NA?
You did not put ano, did not tell them passport number is you will just put your passport number, and then travel document number I put NA there. And then country of issuance, of course, Philippines. And then expiration of date of for passport. So when it will expire. So I put the date. So
Mm-hmm.
yeah, that's it.
So with the I-94 though, what does your form say for 38 Delta?
38D. NA. I just put NA. Date authorized,
Yep.
date expired. Because I haven't, ano, diba?
So
NA.
basically, this may be NA here, but you will have a passport number, and you probably don't have a
Within.
travel document number, right?
No.
Nope. But you have a country of issuance. So there's going to be some
Yeah.
portions of your form where it's filled out, NA, filled out, and then it'll tell you, she'll put the date of her expiration on her passport here, and then
Yeah.
it's going to randomly ask you here if you have any children again. Um,
Mhm.
and then it's going to ask you about your children, which we go down here. Provide the physical address of the children. In the case you have children, you put all the information there. So it says address in the United States where your beneficiary intends to live. Is Jessa going to live with me? That is where my address goes.
Yeah.
And then, of course, I give them my telephone number. Your beneficiary's
Number.
physical address abroad. That is where she's living currently. Your beneficiary's name, address in his or her native alphabet, which would be no
I did
different.
not put
Yeah.
anything. Because it's ano, English lang naman eh.
Yeah. So this would be if your
NA.
language was very different.
Different.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we put NA for that whole section. It wasn't necessary to do so. If they can read
Yeah.
this, right? If they can read this, right, and the people receiving this are English, then this is
Yeah.
not necessary unless it's different. But it shouldn't be.
Mhm.
It's saying, what is it in English? What is it in your native tongue? That's all it's saying.
Correct.
And then part 2, continued information about your beneficiary. Is your fiance related to you?
No.
Yes, no, or NA. Beneficiary is my spouse. So no, Jess is not related to me.
Yeah.
Provide the nature and degree of relationship. Example, third cousin or maternal uncle. If
NA.
that was applicable to you.
So we just put NA there.
Yep. Have you and your fiance met in person during the 2 years immediately before filing this? Yes. If
So
you answered
here,
yes to item 53, describe the circumstances of your in-person meeting in item number 54.
so in the 54, the big box there. So we put here by please see the declaration letter of how we met included with this filing. So we made a separate document or separate paper for that because it's kind of long. That's the story of how we met, when we met. So you will just tell them how you met your fiance.
Yep.
So it's separate. So we
S-
put here, please see
So
the declaration letter.
this is going to be in a package. Like you're building a package. This
Yeah.
is just the first part of it. You're going to put all that documentation together, and if it says see reference whatever, they can flip to the reference and say, ah, okay, this is how they met, this is their relationship, what have you.
Yeah.
Um, Let me see here. Let's keep going. International marriage broker, don't have one.
No.
All
So if
NA.
you met them, tell them if you met on a dating site, dating application, that is not IMB, guys. International Marriage Broker. That is not. So you just put no. And we did not put any supporting documents for that because they said that they already know that dating site or dating apps is not IMB.
Yeah,
So
so
just put no.
guys, this is like it's like a mail order bride service kind
Yeah.
of. This IMB, which
Mhm.
most of you will put no. No, and then it should all be NA, including all this. NA, all of this is
Right.
NA. Now, right here, it's asking consular processing information. If your beneficiary will apply for a visa abroad at the U.S. Embassy and consulate at city or town,
Manila,
Yep,
Manila,
Manila,
Philippines.
Philippines.
Yeah.
Other information, criminal information. This is where it's going to go over. Do you have a criminal history, essentially? Have you ever been subject to temporary or permanent protection or restraining order? Yes or no?
Mhm.
Have you ever been arrested or
No.
convicted of any of the following crimes? And you better read these because remember, the embassies will know if you've been arrested or convicted of a crime, and they
Okay.
will find out that you have fraudulently lied on this form, and you could permanently stop your visa process forever. Do not lie on the form. Um,
Yes.
Other information. Did you commit homicide, murder, manslaughter, rape, abusive sexual content? All of this right here. Did you do this? Yes or no? 3 or more arrests or convictions not for a single act for crimes relating to controlled substances or alcohol. Answer yes or no. Um, and then it's going to say it's going to go into specific crimes and what though the totality of the
Mm-hmm.
circumstances are for these specific crimes here. Um, so you're going to just kind of have to kind of roll with it there, and you got to just read it, okay? Because they're all different. Now, multiple filler waiver requests. This is going to be only applicable if you guys answered a certain questions down here, which,
So we put here not applicable.
yeah,
Beneficiary is my spouse or I am not a multiple filer.
yep. So right here it would be no. This is important though. This biographic information.
So we made, I think we did this twice because
Yeah.
Travis did a mistake on this part. Because on this part, part four, it is for petitioner, not for the beneficiary.
Yeah, so I
Yeah,
put Jess's information here and not
yeah.
mine. So I would,
So we did it
so
again.
obviously for me it would be here. It'd be
Hmm.
white, my height, my weight, my eye color,
Yeah.
my hair color. Okay.
That's why good thing we recheck it again before we submit it.
Yeah, we have to
Before
check
we
it
submit it.
multiple times. Okay,
Yeah.
so moving on, petitioner statement. It says,
Mm-hmm.
select the box in item number 1 alpha or 1 bravo if applicable. I can read and understand English, and I have read and understand every question and instruction on this petition and my answer to every question, right? I can read
Yeah.
English, and so yes, I selected this one. The interpret I did not use an interpreter. NA. At my request, the preparer. I did not use a preparer. Now there are services out there where they'll have to fill this out if they interpreted, if they translated, or if they prepared it for you. They will have to fill that out. This is my contact information, my declaration, petitioner's declaration and certification. Copies of the documents I have submitted are exact photocopies of unaltered original documents, and I understand that USCIS may require that I submit original documents to USCIS at a later date. So make sure you read all of this here. Um, Once you do that, it's going to come up here. Petitioner signature. Do not forget to print and sign this if you're the petitioner. These are important here. interpreters, contact information. So basically everything down from this point is NA. We did not use
Yeah. Okay.
interpreters. We did not use a preparer, no interpreter. All of this is
So date
NA.
of signature. Wait lang. So the date of the signature for petitioner signature, you can just put the date when did you file, when did you start filling out this form. So even though it's not the date of your submission, you can put that because we put here March 21, but we submitted April. Yeah.
Yep, it's just the date that you've completed the form and you're signing it. That's
Yeah.
all it
Yeah.
is. All of this is NA. We did not use a preparer. All NA. Additional information. Most of this will be MA. If you need extra space provided, you need more in this. So page number, part number. So all of this is NA here too. So Jess, you can check on this as well. But all these blocks should be NA for us. These are
Yeah.
all NA. So
Yep, it's
y'all,
all in there.
that is all of this petition here. So we have just went over completely
Yeah.
the petition for alien fiance. I did want to see if I could show you
What?
the directions real quick. They actually have a step by step instruction. I'm just gonna show you here a minute.
So the last part you fill out is the page 10. So that's the page 10, your signature. So that's the last part that we fill out. That's the only part. So other than that, we just put an A.
Oh. USCIS.gov. I was just gonna see if I could add this for you guys, just so you could
What's that?
see this real quick. Hang on, I'm looking for the window capture. I'm adding an additional source real quick, just so
Okay.
they can see. Here it is. So hey y'all, so this is the directions. I'm just gonna blow it up here a second. What this does is this is the instructions for the petition of the I-129F. It goes over every single line item what we did, and then it goes into in-depth explanations, basically what you need. And then if you were to go to like photo, it'll show you, you know, like what copies, what copies do you need to make, and then it should do it'll tell you all about your passports. You can keyword search, different things on here for this, like where it says classification and initial evidence. It's very important that you guys um, read this, because it's
Yeah.
going to tell you, exactly what you need, so you're not missing things or anything like that. So
And always check it like 3 times or 4 times if you need to with your beneficiary or with your fiance. Because me and Travis, di ba, it takes a lot of time to
yeah,
fill
it
out the
does.
report. But we have to make sure that everything is correct,
We were
right?
It was like we had to go through it multiple times and just
Multiple times.
read it, read it, read it. But all
Yeah.
right, everybody, that's it. Do you have anything to add?
Nothing else. So that's it.
Okay. So,
So
yep.
we can tackle on the other video, we can tackle what are those supporting documents like chat logs, call logs that we compile in our
Mhm.
packet. So yeah, today is the I-129F because this video is already a long video.
Yeah, yeah, it's already a long video. So, all right, y'all, thanks for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Hopefully
Yeah.
this helps you out. It is 100% possible to do it yourself. So, save some money, do it yourself. Just read and
Yes.
be thorough on what you're doing. That's all. Alrighty.
Thank you so much, guys. See you again.
Yep.
Bye.
Bye.